Hello everyone, my name is BREMOND. I'm the representative of ELSA, the European Law Student Association. We are the main organizer of the Johnny Jackson Moot Court Competition, and today we are in the WTO building in Geneva, in room W, where we are usually organizing the grand final of the final round of the competition.
The Johnny Jackson Moot Court Competition is currently the biggest moot court competition on the field of WTO law and dispute resolution. Since 2002, the European Law Students Association, ELSA, has had the pleasure of working together with the WTO on the organization of this moot. The teams have been steadily increasing since then. Currently, we have an average of 100 teams participating in the moot court competition. But we also try to focus on the quality of each participant taking place in this moot court competition. For the last 20 years, we have seen a steady increase in skill and experience of all participants. At the end of every year, we have the pleasure of hosting the final all-round here in the building of the WTO in Geneva, where we can see a future generations of WTO lawyers being created. But the beauty of this competition does not really lie in facts or figures. It revolves around the WTO community. The WTO community has been together with us for the last 20 years, participating as coaches, as panelists, as participants in this moot court competition. And they all end up here in this building in Geneva. If you have a passion for WTO law, you feel right at home.
Years after years, we can see that the community of the Johnny Jackson is growing. Previous participants that have been taking part in the competition years ago are coming back to it, taking part in the competition this time as panelists, as case authors, or sometimes as members of the academic board. Thanks to them and thanks to this community of the Johnny Jackson, we can ensure that the quality of the competition not only remain, but increase years after years.
Why you should take this experience? Because you will learn a lot, but not only because of that. You will learn how to work with other people under pressure. And this is very close to real life. The only difference with real life, that is more rewarding than real life, that you are doing this because you want to do this. Not because you are forced to, because you have to work on this. And this creates, I would say, a relationship between the members of the groups. I have seen, of course, teams fighting each other and they don't talk to each other afterwards, but in the majority of the cases, what you create is a link that it lasts for years. So there are many professionals and personal reasons why you should do this course. It's a whole experience. It's not just learning more about law.
One of the most exhilarating experiences throughout the moot was to sit in room W of the WTO, and I certainly hope that oral rounds can resume physically soon. But it was to sit in room W at the WTO with my teammates by my side and say the words, "Good morning, members of the panel. My name is Mishael Wambua, and I appear alongside Ms. Maliha Handwala, Ms. Catherine Penda, and together we represent the government of Zycron in this matter." That was the most exhilarating experience. And having gone through the moot, I'd tell any undergraduate or master's students to certainly get into the practice of mooting and particularly participate in the Johnny Jackson moot because of not only the soft skills and the skills you can get from learning WTO law, but also the accolades that follow. Regardless of whether you're the best team, just by participating, teams are guaranteed of certain accolades and recognition, even from their national governments.
Well, I think it's very, very important for any student of law to do some mooting. It is probably the best training that you can give yourself. Of course, as a professor, it always harms you to say that a mooting experience is a better experience, a better learning experience than people taking your courses, but it is. It's an unforgettable experience. Now, in particular in the field of WTO law, I think that the John Jackson Moot Court Competition, as organized by ELSA, has for many years already played a very, very important role in training people for this field of the law. I have had quite a number of staff members at the WTO when I was an appellate judge, that had done the Moot Court competition, that had coached teams that had done the Moot Court competition. And also in academia, I very regularly meet people that have done the ELSA Moot. I think it's the best preparation that you can get in order to prepare yourself for this field, this exciting field of international law.
You shouldn't miss this opportunity. I mean, I hate speaking about myself, but I took this competition, and I have to say it boosted my professional career. Not just because of a scholarship or awards or anything like that, but because it actually allowed me to delve into WTO law, specialize in this matter. I did my master's degree on this topic. I've been studying, I've been teaching this topic since then, and it introduced me to this new world of international trade. So for me, I really owe a big debt to this competition, and I can only encourage future participants to take it with all seriousness.
Well, I think one thing I can promise anybody who thinks of joining a team to participate in the competition, it's going to be an extremely exciting adventure. You will learn a new area of law or dive much deeper than you were diving into trade law in a university course. You will learn the practice of law. You will learn how to plead effectively, persuasively, take turns, work in a team, write persuasive and structured submissions. And it is a great, great team experience. I think one thing I always saw as an adjudicator in dealing with coaches was the fascination I felt with the teamwork among the participants in the teams, how they take turns, how they are able to plead respondent, complainant sides without any hesitation and equally persuasively. It's something that you will need in your professional career in whatever area of law you will practice. It is a training that pure lectures at universities will not offer you, and it is something that will accompany you through your life, because if you are successful, you will make friends not only within your team, you will make friends in the regional rounds, and if you're successful in the world finals in Geneva or virtually. And that is an experience and a network experience also with the private sector, with international organizations, and with academics from many countries in the world that you will never miss in your life.
Taking part in the John A. Jackson is a life experience that provides unique opportunities most law students could only dream of. Not only provides it a chance to put your knowledge of WTO law to practice, but it extends on that knowledge and trains your pleading and soft skills, which are highly requested in top-tier law firms. Besides the general training, you will also be divulged in the WTO world. People taking part in this competition as panelists, coaches, and case writers are the best the WTO world has to offer. You will have the unique opportunity to meet and talk with these people and maybe even work side by side with them in the future. If you are a law student, passionate about WTO law, with an interest in mooting and developing your professional experience and your career, then I invite you to take part in the John A. Jackson Moot Court Competition and face the global challenge.